My name is Gerður Kristný. I live in Reykjavík, the capital of Iceland, and I'm a writer, mainly a poet. I started writing as a child. I really loved writing verses and I loved writing all sorts of stuff, and sometimes I was even allowed to read it for the class, so I got the idea rather early that I was capable of writing. And my first book was published in 1994. I was 24 at the time, and it was a collection of poetry. I was very proud of it. I wake up at 7 and have some breakfast with my family. I have a husband and I have 2 sons. And when they are off to school or to work, I turn on my computer and start writing. Usually I have to answer some emails from all sorts of people around the world. And then I always have a manuscript to tend to. For my books, I'm usually working at 2 or 3 manuscripts at the same time. Yes, this is my work. I sit by my computer and write. And sometimes I go to festivals and houses around the world for writers where we can be in peace and quiet. I applied to the Epic Residencies program because I really wanted to get to know Slovakia a little bit better, because I had been there at a festival the year before. So I applied and I was happy when I got a yes. I stayed there in February. That's a rather dark and cold month in Iceland, so I thought it was a good idea to escape the Icelandic winter and go to the residency in Košiciach. I worked very hard. I already had a manuscript that I wanted to work on and a few ideas for poetry, and that's what I was doing. And when I go to residencies, I get like 2 or 3 days out of each day because I have nothing else to do than think about my work. So I woke up early and started writing. I went out in the middle of the day to have some lunch, and when I got back I continued writing, and sometimes also in the evening. So I really loved being there. I spent 3 weeks there, and I brought home a few pages that I would never have written without being on my own and concentrating on my work. The poems that I wrote in Košiciach will be published in a collection of poems that will be published in October. The atmosphere in Košiciach is really nice. Lots of people out in the streets. But it's a quiet place though. Košiciach turned out to be very inspiring to me. I would definitely recommend Košiciach's residency, the Epic Residency for Icelandic writers. It's in a city, so there are bookstores and cinemas and people to talk to and restaurants. It's not isolated. That's not what I'm looking for when I go into a residency. So I would definitely recommend it. Go to Košiciach, the Epic Residencies. It will not disappoint you.